Hey everyone, I'm Francesca Maxime, and I would say this is WiseGirl, but actually that's what I want to talk to you about this morning. Thanks to anybody who's been watching these little videos that I've made. I'm trying to see if this microphone that I had left over from a PBS story that I did recently, if that might help make the audio a little bit better. So that's one thing I've heard could be improved, and I think a lot of things could, perhaps also the name. I wanted to explain a little bit about why I called this WiseGirl. And it's not because I was trying to be in any way pretentious or off-putting about like I'm the one who knows and I'm wise and other people don't know, so you have to listen to me. In fact, that's not the case at all. I think there were two things that were going into my thought process about this naming. And, you know, a lot of people say you have to have a personal brand, and I've always shied away from that, even though I know it's really important. I've never really sort of attached myself to the idea of wanting to build this brand for simply a marketing sake, right? I want to be able to have what a colleague of mine called guiding principles that are important to me that I want to share with you and invite you to just look at. And so it was along those lines that when I sort of just randomly came up with that idea of a name, WiseGirl, first of all, it was a little tongue-in-cheek, like, you know, wise guy, wise girl, like, you know, like WiseGirl, you know, like a lot of you who sort of seen me over the years, know me in person, maybe know me from some of my stories, know that I can be really goofy and silly. And so it was partly that. Another part of it was it's not really so much about being wise in a static way, but what I'm sort of trying to do here is cultivate wisdom and share whatever wisdom that I may have cultivated, but also to recognize that each one of us is wise in ways that we don't really recognize or give attention to, and that includes men, guys, wise guys, as well as women, and anyone really. So it's in a way an attempt to sort of recognize a little bit about what I was talking about yesterday with true nature, inner goodness, that we all have an inner wisdom within us that we need to know exists, and be willing to kind of be curious about and look at and investigate and tap into. And oftentimes it's sort of in our gut, right? They call it like this belly part of us that responds to certain situations, and our bodily somatic reactions to things, and not just whatever is in our head. Because our mind, as I said the other day, can go off in a million directions, right? I said we have to train the puppy sometimes. That's a Jack Cornfield, one of my teachers, uses that analogy a lot, and we just want to keep bringing it back and bringing it back. Well, our mind can go in a million different directions, but our gut often can tell us things that our mind might be delusional about. And if we learn how to tap into that and sort of develop that wisdom and cultivate that wisdom and use our somatic basis as a way of sort of recognizing what feels right and what doesn't feel right, more the right brain part of us and not just the left brain analytical side, that can really go a long way toward being able to guide us toward decisions that give us greater happiness, more fulfillment, as opposed to sort of taking on decisions that make us feel like they're the things that we should do or have to do, as opposed to the things that we really want to do. Because I think a lot of us feel as though our deepest desires sometimes aren't possible, that, you know, we're afraid in many ways because we've been hurt, oftentimes, various situations, professionally, personally, and we sometimes don't want to, like a little turtle, we don't want to put our head back out there and, you know, try to cross the road again. And this is just an inch by inch way of looking at that and trying to move across the path, perhaps, if not across the highway, right? So the whole wise girl concept was to really just invite everyone to recognize their own inner wisdom. And it was also sort of just a tongue-in-cheek play on words on my part because I thought it was kind of catchy. But it's really more about the guiding principle of what it means to cultivate your own inner wisdom and what it means to really look within and start listening to your body and realizing that it has a lot to tell you. When you're in certain situations, does it react? Does it feel tingly? Does your heart get tight? Does your tummy get clenched? Sort of try to tune into some of that before we make a rational or thoughtful decision or have a sort of inappropriate real-time reaction, sort of tune into what your body is doing and trying to tell you, and cultivate the wisdom from within and see if that doesn't lead you in a direction that's a little bit more satisfactory. I know it's worked sometimes for me, but the whole purpose of this is what works for you. I'm only inviting you to consider some of these things based on my own experiences, not at all trying to say that I am the wise girl, because I'm not. I'm the curious girl, really. Maybe I should call it that. Anyway, I'm throwing that out there this morning. Just wanted to get your feedback if you'd like to share, and if you can, follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, I guess, or on YouTube, I guess. Yeah, you can do your likes and all of that should you care to, but mainly I want to, I guess, just really share that it's okay to be curious, but to know that within yourself is an inner wisdom. This isn't about arrogance. This isn't about, self-affirmations or anything like that. This is about settling into your own self, settling into your own body, and tapping into that sort of innate way of knowing that is within each one of us, that gets a little lost sometimes with all the distractions that we have online and in life and with different responsibilities that we have. So happy Friday, everybody, and I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm Francesca Maxime. Feel free to comment. You know where to find me. Take good care and enjoy your weekend and your beautiful fall ahead. It's middle of October already.